Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Sector 4 podcast. Hope we are all well. Oscar, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm not bad. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm not too bad. Since our last podcast, there has been two races. Obviously, the Bahrain Grand Prix and the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Neither of which you've commented on yet, so that's what we're doing today, funnily enough. So the first race this season,
Been a while.
Bahrain, is always an exciting one. First week back, first race back after winter. And we had some new liveries, some team changes. Obviously, with Gunther Steiner gone, and to be fair, it did Haas a little favour recently, didn't it? Because now they're getting points.
Yeah, not doing too bad. Well, I've got 1 point in Saudi Arabia,
Exactly.
not Bahrain, sadly.
Smashing it with the 1 point.
Well, yeah, I mean they're sick. They're sixth at the minute.
Yeah,
Last
better
year,
than
yeah, Williams, Sauber, Honda, RB Honda, and Alpine all on 0 points behind them. So
is that what they're called now? RB Honda.
I kind of read Honda because I like the RB bit and thought, hang on,
They've had
they're
about
Honda
six
now.
different names in a month. Crikey
Honestly,
me.
I can't keep. I can't keep up.
It's silly,
It's,
isn't it? Kick
uh,
Sauber and Visa Cash App RB.
I'm just gonna delete Honda from my notes because that's just gonna really confuse me otherwise.
Good idea. We also had some new back markers with the Alpines, who are having an absolute shocker. They've been nowhere
horror.
near points in both races. And then, of course, the same winner, Max Verstappen, of both races by a significant margin. But anyway, we'll come back to that. So back to Alpine. Like I said, they're having an absolute shocker. Nowhere near points in either race. But it just makes me laugh how Drive to Survive comes out every year. And then they're always like, oh, this year we're really trying to fight for the championship. And they somehow manage to get worse year on year.
Yeah, it's quite impressive, isn't it? I mean, the state of their car, of how much carbon is on that, I think just shows how much they're struggling.
Yeah,
Like,
it's poor.
I know you're a fan of the livery.
I am. I quite like it.
And I'll be honest, so am I. I like bits of it here and there, but I think the amount of carbon on it does show, and the fact that they've had I think two from their technical team resign, two head I think their head technical officer has resigned.
Yeah, they're really going to extreme measures.
I think they've just given up.
Yeah,
They're like, there's no saving this.
yeah, it's not quite the start that possibly they might have wanted, but hey ho, they live and learn. Hopefully, who knows? By the end of the season, they might be absolutely smashing it. They'll have a McLaren season, but I highly doubt that.
Yeah, if they do, I will shave my head, and that is.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. We said it in the last podcast. I can't remember what it was, but Oscar and I are shaving our heads at some point.
I think it might be the same thing, you know.
Really? Okay. Well, in that case.
No. That was Logan. If Logan Sargent beats Alexander.
Yeah, that was it. We'll shave our heads. How's he doing at the moment? Can we get a quick check on that?
What Sargent?
Is he beating Alex Albon?
Well, currently in the standings, he is 19th. So no, sadly not.
Oh, fantastic. My hair is safely rested on my head.
Safely on your head.
Yeah.
Sorted.
Yeah. So the Bahrain Grand Prix. To be fair, it was alright, wasn't it? It was a little bit of a Ferrari show in that there was a lot going on with the Ferraris, and Sky Sports made sure that we knew about it.
Yeah, definitely. I think I guess the Ferrari have got rid of Carlos Sainz for next year.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously got I say he's got a lot to prove. People already know how good he is. But yeah, he's definitely driving for a seat this year. I think he definitely proved that he needs one for next year. Just in that first race alone.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you can see how much he wanted it when he's fighting his own teammate. He was
just sending it back from like Narnia.
Yeah, overtook him without team orders. Then Charles Leclerc got the undercut, so he's back in front again. And then Carlos has only done it again and overtaken him. He really wanted that position.
It was a lovely little move.
It was beautiful. I mean, Leclerc was complaining the whole race about how he was struggling with his tyres, but brakes. But if we look past that, then yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I think they had. I saw an article or something about. Let me see if I can find it. I've got it saved somewhere.
Here we go.
Something
It's
about.
Oscar of his article.
Mate, This is horrendous. It was about how Ferrari's.
Oh yeah.
2 seconds. Hang on. Let me find it.
Yeah, there was just a lot of
Take quite a
complaints
while.
in there about like brake balance and cooling. He just kept locking up into every corner.
Yeah. So Leclerc constantly locking up and regularly off the road at
There we go.
turns 9 and 10. That double left corner or double left complex.
That is one of the
With
hardest
his
corners in Formula One, to be fair. So we'll let him off.
doing that on the F1 game's hard enough.
Yeah.
But apparently, his front tires were more than 100 degrees split between both the right and front left. So I guess a lot of tire cooling issues.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they were also saying about how Ferrari's improved long run tyre wear from testing has been realised in actual competition, which theoretically makes it a threat in future races, where their tyres can be pushed longer and Red Bull's natural advantage is minimised.
Beautiful.
And I'm apparently illiterate as well. While
I mean, they seem to have fixed it by the Saudi Grand Prix, but we'll get onto that later.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And you mentioned the pressure from Sainz on Leclerc. Obviously, this year, like you said, Sainz needs to really prove himself because he's currently without a seat next year. So, and I'm imagining he feels quite betrayed. But to be fair, he's done all right. If that was me, I would have just thrown my toys out of the pram and just binned the car every race. But I'm not Carlos Sainz, so I can't do that. But yeah, he Sainz pretty much outperformed Leclerc in the first race, but he wasn't there in the second to prove himself again. So
Yeah, I think. Well, to be fair, the gap. Also, the gap. You got a podium. Leclerc was in fourth, but the gap was like. It was well over 10 seconds. Let me actually, if I can get it up. So yeah, so Sainz was 25 seconds behind Verstappen, and Leclerc was 39 seconds. That's what 14 seconds he was ahead of Leclerc in the same car.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's definitely put on a dominant display there.
Yeah, he's done alright. Yeah.
I think Leclerc's definitely got to watch his back this season from Sainz, especially. I can imagine Sainz is a lot more driven, especially now he's out of drive.
Yeah.
I've got no doubt he'll find one, to be honest.
Yeah, he's not exactly a bad driver, is he? I mean, he probably beat me in a race, put it that way.
No, that's quite a difficult thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, very difficult.
Yeah, in the words of Crofty, Charles Leclerc has got to be driving in his mirrors. It's one of the things I remembered from the Saudi Grand Prix when Checo Perez was right behind him for many laps. Unrelated, but good quote.
That's a really relevant quote.
Yeah, exactly. Drive in your mirrors, guys.
Do that anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah, right. What's next?
I've got written down a Valtteri Bottas 52-second pit stop. Now, I'm hoping you might have a better understanding of what actually went down in this pit stop, because I just saw him jacked. Wheel came off. Will went to the back of the car, and then it cut to George Russell. So I don't know what happened after that.
I saw a wheel nut being handed over to the front left mechanic. So I don't know whether it was a tire problem. Like, I don't know if they got the wheels put in the wrong place, or I've got no idea. All I saw was that's pretty much all I saw. The same as you. I also saw a wheel nut being given.
Yeah.
Given to the mechanic.
Didn't it happen with Bottas when he was at Mercedes like a few years ago? He got his tyre sets mixed up.
Mercedes Monaco.
Yeah.
2021, I want to say. Yeah. He was there for 45 seconds or something like that.
Must be bad luck.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not written down. This is just going off the mental here, but I love Valtteri Bottas as a driver. He is just so cool. Now that he's at Sauber, he's got absolutely no stresses. Like, a Mercedes is probably the most stressed man in the world, and now he's just like living life, He's got his bum out on a calendar. He is driving one of the slowest cars on the grid, but he doesn't care. He loves it.
Yeah, I think because he said when he first got the mullet, he said he didn't think Mercedes would let him have it. Well, I can too far, I can see why, but yeah,
What do
like you said,
lovely mullet.
no, I agree. It's a lovely mullet. It suits him very, very well, and he's
Yeah.
he's getting his naked butt out on calendars.
Yep.
Giving all that money to charity. What I think he's very much in that kind of not stage of his kind of stage in his career where he's kind of just enjoying it, not really worrying too much about what happens. But,
Exactly. Oh,
he's
I've literally just had a poll come up on my Amazon Echo show. I'm not going to say the name because otherwise it will have a hissy fit at me. Should Hamilton have stayed at Mercedes? What do we think, guys? Yes or no? I'm going to press it.
Right now, I'm saying I'm on the side of Ferrari. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment. It's not looking good for the Mercedes drivers.
No,
But, hey.
it's if you know what I actually think that Mercedes will get better and better. I think because they have in the past, and I think they will again. But the thing I'm most excited for this season is the battle between Mercedes and McLaren. I think that's going to be really, really exciting.
Yeah, I agree. Like McLaren started here, Mercedes started here. McLaren have gone up a lot, Mercedes have fallen quite a lot. So now they're at level. It's great.
Yeah, I think Ferrari might also get involved in that because we've seen they've got good pace, the Ferraris. I think they'll catch up to Red Bull hopefully sooner rather than later. So this is actually an interesting title fight.
Yeah.
Pretty please make that happen.
Just some action,
I think...
please, somewhere on the grid. Give us something.
But yeah, I think either if either Ferraris fall off slightly, they'll be in that McLaren Mercedes fight. But then Mercedes and McLaren go up a little bit in terms of development performance. They'll be right with Ferrari. I think it could be an interesting three-way fight for second place in the championship.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's interesting because Mercedes don't actually have an awful car. It's just they were so amazing. Dominant, yeah. And then they've dropped slightly, and Red Bull are now the dominant. They've swapped places, and everyone's like, "Oh, Mercedes are rubbish." They're not actually that rubbish. It's just they seem rubbish because of where they've come from.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I also think that Red Bull dominance is a lot different to how the Mercedes dominance was, especially with Verstappen won pretty much every single race last year, bar 3. No, but it was bar 2. No, bar 2.
Putting my washing on my bed.
But doing the rounds.
Yep.
Other than Perez and Carlos, who Perez won Saudi Arabia and then Carlos won. I want to say Singapore.
Don't ask me, mate. Remember. You're the facts man.
Maybe. I'm really not. But Lewis wasn't winning every single race back when he was dominating.
Yeah, I remember you saying this. He actually had competition. Whereas
2014 to 2016 he had Rosberg. 2017 he had Vettel. 2018 he had Vettel. 2019 he kind of had Vettel in a way. 2020 was sort of him and Bottas, but that was not really. I think we all kind of knew how that was going to go. And then 2021, obviously, Hamilton and Verstappen. But, since 2021, it's just been Verstappen.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just not been... Yeah, I think it's just not the same level, I don't think, in terms of how you
I agree.
Dominance.
I mean, in the first 2 races of this season, Max is so far ahead, 5, 6, 7 laps in, that he can't even see second place in his mirrors. It's silly.
Exactly. Well, at the end of Bahrain, he was 22.457 seconds ahead of Perez.
Yeah, and that was after a pit stop.
Yeah.
Nuts.
That does not fill me with much hope.
He could have pitted again for the laughs and just
honestly
still won. Which is nuts. Anyway, back to Bahrain. There was a bit of drama at the end, wasn't there, between the junior Red Bulls, the V-Carb, with the driver swap, because Daniel thought he was quicker than Yuki. They swapped him. Yuki did not prove, as we could tell by his awful microphone quality. Obviously something went wrong with the radio there because he sounds like he's speaking through a potato or something. It's really bad.
A potato. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think it was quite an odd call from AlphaTauri because they did it on like lap 55 or 57. I
Sorry,
think it was.
V-carb, not AlphaTauri, Oscar. Come on, keep up with the times.
Oh, I'm actually an idiot. Well, that was you, not me.
Oh, not me.
What? I didn't call him V-carb.
I call him V-carb. It's got it written down here, Oscar. I have it proof.
Well, all right.
Thank you.
I'll put my hands up on that one. Yeah, well, yes, AlphaTauri sort their cars around lap 53. So Ricardo go chase down Magnussen. I don't really understand the call. I think it was a bit pointless, really. But
Yeah, I'm with you.
yeah,
on
there
that
we
one.
are. And then Yuki made his what's the word? He made his thoughts and feelings known at the end on
Yep,
the cool
he
down
did.
lap.
He really
You know,
like threw his toys out of the pram, didn't he? He wasn't a happy bunny. at the
he
end of that
really
race.
did. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna send a cheeky one down the inside and lock up.
Yeah. It's quite funny because there was all these rumors at the start or like in the winter break where they were like, oh, they've literally just remade the Red Bull car from a few years ago, and then the V-carb appears, and we're all like, wow, it looks amazing, brings back Toro Rosso vibes, and on the track it's pretty mediocre, same as last year.
Did you see Daniel Ricciardo's comments after that race?
Give myself and the fans a gentle reminder of what those comments were.
All right, he said, he said, and I quote, when he was asked about the incident, he said a bit of immaturity.
Yes, I do remember hearing that. Yeah. But apparently they were on good terms by the end of the race, so I doubt that.
By the
but-
race or like
by the end of the month or what? Because it seemed a bit tense when I watched it, but it's fine.
Yuki Tsunoda could have easily written off both cars and
Yeah, to be fair. But you could say that about any driver.
yeah, no, exactly.
I'd be so bad as a Formula 1 driver. I'd love it,
Like,
don't get me
just-
wrong, hanging out with the likes
just in general, but like
just the
Well,
driving
like-
part. I'd be sick at everything else.
oh, I thought you in the media pen.
Yeah.
Trained. Sorted. I thought you meant like you'd be bad as in like if something happened you'd like react in a really bad way, like you'd dive on some, like just not. shoot
Well, I'd
someone
hope
off the
not,
track.
because then I'd risk my life. But hey,
True.
it might be worth it. Who knows? But yeah,
Nah.
being an F1 driver, I'd be sick at, except for the driving. So the biggest part of the job, yeah, don't give me that bit. The rest of it,
Yeah,
Sure.
don't let me do that bit. I'll do
Yeah.
everything else except the driving.
yeah. Yuki's pretty much the opposite. He's pretty bad at everything other than driving. He's actually an alright driver. But if something happens, he throws a hissy fit. And yeah, to be fair, that's the only example I had.
Yeah, to be fair, he's not. I don't think he's as bad as he used to be. Like he used to be constantly swearing down the radio
Yeah.
and complaining about absolutely everything. But yeah, I don't think. To be fair, I think he was kind of, in a way, he was kind of justified this time.
Yeah, like you say, it was a bit of a rogue call from the V-carb pit team.
I mean, that, and it was also for 13th place.
I was
so
just about
they
to
weren't
say that,
scoring any
yeah.
points anyway.
No one got points anyway, which leads us lovely,
So, yeah,
lovely,
just
lovely,
a bit
onto
pointless, really.
yeah, exactly, onto the podium, which was obviously Max first, Checo second, and Carlos Sainz third, which again goes back to the fact that Carlos outperformed Charles Leclerc in that race. I mean, the proof's in the pudding in the result. But anyway, unless Oscar, you've got anything else to add, we will leave it there.
Yeah, I've got nothing
Lovely.
other than please Carlos Sainz, please beat Leclerc, 'cause that's something I do want to see.
And listeners, please like, subscribe, and follow on Spotify. Lovely. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next one. See you later.